Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you guys are doing well. What's up? Gosh, I feel like I need, people are like, I haven't got my hair cut in so long. I think I'll be okay. I don't think I have to have my hair cut all the time. So let me see how everybody's doing. Hello. Let's see. Somebody yelled first. I think it was, who was here first? I'm pretty certain that was Mr. Shadow Kitty. Mr. Shadow Kitty was first. Good morning. We got Tony Designs here. We got Heretic. Hey, what's up? We got Brian Stevens. We got Mistaken Reaper. What's going on, guys? Maya Adkinson. Adkisson? Is that right? I might have said that wrong, and I'm sorry if I did. Spooky Bed Hair is here. What's going on? We got, is it Tim Mystic 2.0? I don't know what that is. Okay. Jericho D is here. Tamara is here. Golden Coin. What's going on? We got some people on Periscope as well. Let me holler at them. Yep. Rim Mystic 2.0. There you go. So, just so you know, I do stream across multiple platforms, but what's really cool about the Restream bot is that it brings all of the conversations together on the different platforms. So even though if you're watching on Periscope, people can talk to you from YouTube and vice versa, which is kind of neat. Hello. Hi, Native Atheist. What's going on? How are you doing? Dynacat Lesme is here. All right, so if you guys remember, last Saturday we played our very first edition of like Wheel of Fortune style games, and I found that 10 rounds was pretty long. Used to we would just have 10 questions, like multiple choice questions on our little trivia thing. But I like the Wheel of Fortune style. So instead of 10 rounds, we just do 5 because that's really, really a whole lot. So lots to talk about today. I've got Nina the science doggo. You guys can't see her so well. There she is. Sorry. I've gone and messed up everything. What's new, right? Nina the science doggo over there in the corner. Present and accounted for. Little Nina, and that's a speaker. I don't need that right there. All right. So let's talk about vaccines. We're going to talk about vaccines today. I've covered this topic before. Hello, Skull 8 Ranger. What's going on? What's up, Graham Burrell? How are you? Graham Burrell's with us. Good afternoon. So yeah. So I've covered vaccines before, but I think it's pretty apt to talk about it currently because people are like, well, is there going to be a COVID-19 vaccine? Is there going to be one or not? How's that going to work? What does that do? So there's so many misconceptions going around about vaccines. I mentioned last week about the potential of being at least 30 strains, but certainly 19 different genetic variations of COVID-19 has been identified. But that's okay. Doesn't mean anything outside of, it's an RNA virus. You expect it to mutate. Let's see. Hello, Tamara. Hello, Jer. Oh, I already said hi to, I think this is the second time, I say hi to Jericho D multiple times. Skull 8 Rangers reheating wings and tots. Man, that sounds nice. I haven't eaten yet. But I have my coffee. So, priorities first, right? So, there you go. So, I thought I would talk a bit about that. I've been doing a lot of different things on the internet with individuals who are afraid that a vaccine can't be developed. I've been going around different threads saying, okay, no, that's not how this goes. That's not how this is happening. Need not panic. Yes, Native Atheists, lots of COVID-19 vaccines are being tried. Surely one of them must work. Well, we've reached clinical trials for quite a few of them. So I'm going to talk about those today. But I think it's really important that we kind of understand how vaccines work because a lot of people, they don't get it. And that's not a judgment. That's not a judgment on people on not understanding how vaccines work. I feel a lot of that is reflective on a lack of the media to effectively educate the general population. And to be fair, it's not always the media's responsibility to educate a person. That's why we have a public school system. But things like vaccines and why vaccines are important and what actually is herd immunity, that term is getting thrown around so much, and I want to just put my head through the wall. They're like, well, herd immunity. We could do herd immunity. Just let all the sick people get sick, and then all the people that survive, they survive. And then that'll be herd immunity. I'm like, yeah, okay. Could have done that with polio too, and all kinds of other awful viruses. The problem with this particular virus, with COVID-19, all ages are getting it. People with no underlying comorbidities or pre-existing conditions. Young people are having strokes in the hospital because of blood clots forming in their brain. This is not a very nice virus. I kind of went toe to toe with an RN on Facebook who was telling me I was fear-mongering people and I was scaring people about there being 30 strains. Well, no, I'm not trying to scare people. What I'm trying to do is get people to understand the more this virus is transmitted among people, the higher the likelihood that it's going to mutate again into something far worse. We already have one strain that's been identified, and this is not a peer-reviewed paper. It's still under peer review, but it's still valid to note. RNA viruses, they mutate rapidly. Most of the time, they mutate to a point to where they kill themselves off because the mutations are awful and they are counterproductive. And so some of the RNA viruses can mutate off and go away. Yes, that could happen. But the larger the population you have of infected people, the likelihood strains will get stronger and get much worse. That is a likelihood that needs to be discussed. People need to understand, no, there's no reason to panic and get scared and fear for your life and go running through the streets screaming. But at the same time, you have to understand this virus, in order for it to mutate, has to be inside a person. And so transmission, we are the vehicles for this virus. So we're the ones that transmit it. And the more people it enters, the likelihood you're going to have a mutation that's going to be beneficial for the virus, not you. So this is what we call evolution, right? This is what we call evolution. Now, at the same time, that doesn't mean we should think, oh my gosh, it's mutating so quickly. Well, it's not necessarily mutating quickly, but it is generating different strains. But that doesn't mean we can't make a vaccine for it. If enough of the outside receptors for COVID-19 are the same, here's how this works. And I'll get into vaccines here in a minute. Here's how this works. On the outside of viruses, you see those little sticky things in the COVID-19 pictures that you see so often. It looks red and it's got those little things that poke out of it. If the outside receptors stay relatively the same and don't change so much, even if the strain mutates and changes internally, like as far as that, but if the outer coating stays the same, you could have 30 different strains, but still have that same receptors on the outside. You could still develop a vaccine. It depends on how different these are. And if they're not that different on the outside, then you can still develop antibodies that will neutralize the vaccine. I mean, not the vaccine, but the virus, and keep it from infecting other cells. And then that targets and lets all of the other immune cells know, hey, let's take this thing out. So that's kind of where we're at. If that outside of those outside receptors don't change that much, we're going to be fine for a vaccine, guys. And people are like, well, what about reinfection? Reinfection. Well, do we know that they were reinfected, or were these people who were released, Were they still positive, but the test came back negative? Was it a false negative? We don't know. We don't know that. Could it be a virus that was just hanging out for a bit longer? Exposure to the virus gives you some immunity. So you do have some immunity, but think on this. Even with vaccines, sometimes you need booster shots, a second shot, a third shot within a year. Maybe like with HPV, you need three shots, 3 injections of the vaccine over the course of a year in order to develop a substantial immune response. Might be the same thing here. It's something to think about. Let me catch up on the chat here and see what everybody has to say. But people freaking out. It's all right. We're going to be okay, guys. All right. Yeah. They're mostly pushes if your doctor or pharmacies should know questions about the vaccines before just taking it. It's in your body forever. Well, are you concerned about the stuff? We're going to talk, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to talk about how vaccines work, and hopefully, you'll be able to kind of absorb some of that information and see what you think about it. I have all kinds of stuff, and I'll show you all of my citations. People would rather let the maximum number of people die rather than stay in the house for a few weeks. I know but see, what they don't understand is, how do you know you're not one of those individuals that's going to get the strain that's going to put you in the hospital and give you a stroke? I mean, we're not testing everyone. We don't know who's asymptomatic. Let's see. First vaccine was 37 years ago. I don't get sick. Please explain why vaccine is needed for just another RNA virus. Well, this isn't just another RNA virus. What can happen? It depends on which cells the virus can attack. We're finding COVID-19 in the kidneys. We're finding it in the heart. We're finding it in the lungs. People are having permanent scar tissue in their lungs. This is a particularly virulent virus, and it initiates a strong immune response. And so for people who have a strong immune response, that increases inflammation around these organs, your heart, your kidney, and your lungs, and it's causing your body to shut down. This isn't just another RNA virus. And since it's different, it has different receptors on the outside of it. It can attach to cells differently than previous RNA versions or than other coronavirus family of viruses. It has a different series of receptors on the outside. So it's able to enter cells differently than other RNA viruses. And so it's not just another RNA virus. It's a completely different RNA virus, which makes it a problem. Isn't it likely to mutate to a less deadly form the more it spreads? Well, not exactly. I'll see if I can find a paper for you. There will be strains that die out. Yes. Most of the time, mutations don't do anything. They're benign. That's most of the time. But RNA viruses don't have a proofreading mechanism. Sometimes those mutations, more often than not, cause a strain to die out. But if you have a large population and you increase the transmission of that virus and that ability, the longer it sticks around, the more opportunities you're giving it to mutate into something worse. That's just how it goes. It's like sitting there and pulling a handle on a slot machine. Yeah, you're going to lose a lot, but if you're still able to pull that handle on that slot machine, eventually you're going to hit a jackpot, and all you need is one mutation in the right spot to make it worse than what it is now. And the more opportunities you allow a virus to do that, the more likely that's to happen. It's just sitting there pulling on that slot machine. Eventually you'll hit a jackpot. I mean, it's law of averages, right? Sure, lots of strains could, theoretically they should die out. But you'll have a few that could stick around and be far worse. I mean, that's just strong possibility. Let's see. I'm not certain what yours. There are things like AIDS and SARS they claim have never found a cure for theirs. Another created as well in the non-food and weird things in fast foods. I'm not certain what you mean there, but that's, there you go. Yeah, SARS was contained. The other SARS, the swine flu, H1N1. HIV, nowadays we have effective treatments, antiviral medications that lower the viral load, and essentially that's what you want with viruses that are a part of HIV now, because it's a retrovirus. It incorporates itself into your DNA in different cells, and so the idea is to lower the amount of viruses there to limit your limit your ability to make more copies of it through your essentially your immune cells. Well, COVID-19 is a form of SARS. It's a different virus. It's a different virus, but there are lots of coronaviruses. The cold is an example of a coronavirus. Okay, let's see. Viruses do evolve a lot faster. Yes, they do. Thank you, Native Atheist. I'm not calling out people who are giving me messages. Brian Stevens, thanks for that. Tony Designs, thank you for that. Dynacat Lesme asked the question about spreading. All right. Let's see. Heretic says, thankfully, South Korea scientists told us the reinfections were not reinfections, but the testing picking up the dead virus particles. Wish they'd worked that out before scaring everyone. Well, here's the other thing. The PCR test is only effective for a couple weeks. I discussed this a little bit when I talked about viral testing a few weeks back. After about 7 to 10 days, if that, you're not going to get a very good response. Antibody tests let us know whether or not somebody has been exposed to it, but it doesn't let us know if they're currently contagious. You know what I mean? It doesn't let us know if they're currently contagious. Positive in sunlight. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I that's a good idea, Tony. For Heretic, need to see that source. It's likely that they just still had some of the residual virus around. Affect our ability to have a given immune system. If you eat poor food, you have less chance of being healthy. True. A good, well balanced diet is pretty important. That helps in overall health, not just exclusively to the immune system. I'm hearing there are 3 things no vaccines for that have killed in the past. I'm not certain what this. Hey, Nether. How are you doing? All right. Alrighty. I'm sorry you got a bad internet connection. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. Man, hamburgers. Guys, I don't know what's going on. I've had weird tummy things. This is TMI stuff. I'm going to have to go back to bland food. No more really fun, yummy stuff going on. There's a Dutch news segment, Nestlig says. Hello, Nestlig. There is a Dutch news segment on YouTube now, private, where one person interviews anti-vaxxers on COVID. It got heated really quickly. They didn't like the questions being asked. Well, probably not. Alrighty. And some of the neighbors talked to the interviewer afterwards, which they also didn't like, who were really upset about their anti-vax position. Well, yeah, I imagine so. It's not fun to live next door to an anti-vaxxer. We'll have to find that, Nestlig. That sounds interesting. How effective is the testing? 99% to 75%. Well, it depends on what kind of testing. And I did talk about this a couple weeks ago. Antibody testing is going to be the best way to determine whether or not a person has been exposed to the virus at some point in time. With antibody testing, the thing that's cool about that is you can do more research and find out, okay, if this person's been exposed, did they have symptoms? Yes or no? You know what I mean? Did they have symptoms? Yes or no? Okay, so then you can kind of track then and find out where the asymptomatic virus, may have spread in little pockets of where that might have been, and kind of gather more information. But as far as a PCR test, if it's not like within like the first week, the likelihood the likelihood of a false negative increases after that, because there's just not enough viruses. Because once your immune system kicks in, you know, then you're going to have less of that virus there. Alrighty. Poor testing is a big problem. So we do need that. Herd immunity, yeah. I'm going to talk about that today. So let me go ahead and jump into this, and I'll catch up on more questions here in a bit. So let me see. I need to swap my display setting. I got like new monitors, and it's like, oh my goodness. It's freaking huge, guys. I feel like I'm in massive like mission control stuff. But here we go. So we're going to talk about how it is that vaccines are a thing. What do they do? What's going on with that? So this is kind of where we're going to be. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this. We kind of need to understand the immune system, because a lot of people, and again, this isn't a judgment. This isn't a judgment on people. When I say a lot of people, that means I'm addressing the fact that we have a science literacy problem. This is why I do what I do. So we have different little boosttheimmunesystem.com. Don't think that's a thing, but I left it there because it's a copyrighted image. We should go and see. And if it's garbage, let's make fun of it. So, but I liked the images for this. So there you go. So in the immune system, you have macrophages, you have antibodies that, kind of attack the antigens. They attach to the antigens on the outside of the virus. You have T lymphocytes that attack infected cells. And then you have NK cells, these natural killer cells. There are silent assassin cells. Those are pretty cool. So you have different sections of your immune system. You have innate and you have adaptive. Innate is non-specific, okay? So like if you have allergies, that's what's going on. Innate. It's non-specific. It's your first defense. It's your first line of defense when your body has like a foreign protein floating around, like pollen. Oh my gosh, pollen. And then your body freaks out. It's antigen activated. So if it sees something that it's not familiar with, your innate immune system kicks in, and we see macrophages here. Those are the eater things. They eat the things. That's what your pus is, guys. Those are dead macrophages. Isn't that nice? And you have T cells and natural killer cells are involved in that. They go through, and then they annihilate the baddies, right? And then you have your adaptive. This is where the vaccines are important, okay? It's specific. It's for specific antigens. So if this doesn't take it out, your innate immune system, that's not cutting it. Then you need adaptive. And so you get B cells that make your antibodies, and you make enough of these, you're going to have memory cells. So what happens is you get exposed to this antigen. They make these antibodies, and they work with the T cells, and they attach to the virus and prevent that virus from entering into your any new cells and infecting them. And then the T cells are able to come around and annihilate it completely. So that's kind of the basics for that. Let me catch up on the chat. Alrighty, cool. COVID-19, Mr. Shadow Kitty. That should be the theme song of 2020. COVID-19, right? Just ask questions. Oh my goodness. Good immunity from good food. I think it's helpful to not convince. I understand. I think a diversified diet that includes the adequate amount of protein, adequate amount of vitamins, and you can get that in different ways. I choose to get my vitamins from actual food rather than taking supplements, but some people have to take supplements. Alrighty. Goodness. Is it safe to assume at this point everyone has already been infected? If this is the case, maybe it's not that deadly. Good question, Golden Coin. Well, we will probably all get infected. Somebody, in your life, you'll probably get the flu at least once, right? You've probably gotten the flu. I know I have, and it's horrible. I don't ever want to do that again. But we all get something like this at some point in time. We get a common cold. That's a coronavirus. But we will probably all get this in some form. It would be best to assume that everyone is infected in order to reduce transmission. So if everybody took precautions like they had the virus, whether they knew it or not, that would limit transmission to other people. So that's essentially what we're trying to do. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see. PSA, don't drink bleach. Exactly right. I'm almost at a point of people going to fight me on that like they tried to do last weekend. Oh, goodness. If you trust our dear leader in everything that he says, even though he said, it's just a joke, guys. I did that for the laws, and you totally fell for it. I was just trolling. No, you really believe that. And even in your follow-up where you're saying you were just joking, you still got information wrong. Don't put disinfectant on your hands. He told everybody to do that too. Don't do that either. Not unless you want to just dry out your hands. Let me disinfect my hands with Lysol and then go eat. Very bad idea. Don't do that. Gosh. Yeah. Not that deadly. So we're already we have more people in the U.S. who have died from COVID-19 than the Vietnam War. I believe it's about 600,000 or 620,000 in the Civil War. At the current rate that we're at, we might hit that. I'm pretty certain we'll hit that in about 3 months or less. If we continue the rate that we are. I'm pretty certain that might be a thing. Hey. All right, trying to catch up. Thanks for, you guys got some good chat going on amongst each other. That's pretty awesome. And probably nowhere near duration of infection has been reached. There are a lot of people here that have not been exposed because they actually have self-isolated. I have too. But I got the tummy issues and I'm like, oh my God, do I have COVID-19? And I immediately start Googling, well, I don't have a fever and I'm not in any pain. So it's like, oh God. Spray bleach on the beach to protect the kids like a Spanish community did. Clever. Or just, maybe don't go to the beach this year. Sit in your backyard and watch some TV. That's okay. Why was polio nearly eradicated from vaccine, but flu remains? That's a good question, Skull 8 Ranger. The problem, okay, so you remember I mentioned about the outside of viruses having a particular set of receptors. It's a protein signature, so to speak. Like we all have like fingerprints, that are all kind of different. Well, viruses, that's kind of like their fingerprint. They have different proteins that stick out like an antenna, and it allows it to attach to cells and gain entry to cells through that particular mechanism. So the flu, it's clever. It changes those receptors about every 6 months, about every 3 to 6 months. It changes how those receptors look, how they're shaped, and where they are. And for that reason, we have to make brand new vaccines every single time because the flu virus evolves. It evolves, it mutates, and it changes. Now, that doesn't mean we can't get a vaccine for the flu. It just means we have to keep up with that and understand, okay, and they use a lot of statistics for this to determine what the prominent strain is going to be within a population. So they track and they go, okay, we have somebody with flu-like symptoms. All right, let's go and see what kind of flu is. Oh, this is a different strain. Look at this, the protein signature. So they pull the antibodies and they have a look at the strain. So there are people that is just their job, is to keep up with emerging flu strains and help working with flu response folks to try to predict what the main strain is going to be and then they develop vaccines accordingly in advance before it starts to become a large pandemic like we have now. So this is with, this is what it's like to not have one vaccine, what we're going through. So if we don't have vaccines, this is what happens. So let's be clear about that. So yeah, but that's a good question, Skull 8 Ranger. I appreciate that. Yeah. How can anybody believe? I just don't get that. I don't either, Gray Man. How are you doing? Don't drink bleach, guys. It's pretty bad. And I'm going to talk about herd immunity a little bit. Okay. More than 5% of humanity is immunocompromised one way or another and so can't achieve immunity at all. That's true, Nether. If you have any kind of autoimmune disease, if you're old, you're immunocompromised. You just are. Your body's not making antibodies anymore. That's why we see a high rate of elderly onset cancer. Their immune system's not killing all of the bad cells that have turned. You have people on chemotherapy treatments, all of those things. All right. Let me see. What proof is there that everyone hasn't already been infected and the tests are just catching up? We don't have that. And that's where testing comes in as particularly important. We can test for, I believe they have antibody tests now. So we can test for antibodies. So if somebody's been exposed, they'll have the antibodies for that virus. And so I know that they were trying to get antibodies from people who had been exposed and recovered as a treatment for people who were currently suffering from COVID-19. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, so, yeah, people tend to go on super overkill with that. We talked about the bleach thing last week. Okay, so let's go through. I'm trying to catch up on all the questions. All right, so let's go through and talk a bit more about this. So, really good questions, guys. You're doing awesome. Awesome sauce. All right, so vaccines. So here's some examples. We have innate immunity, which is our rapid response, and our adaptive immunity. So you remember innate is the initial response. We're being invaded. And then all of the cells are like, attack the foreign thing. For me, it's pollen. And so just thinking about makes my ears itch right now. And I'm pretty certain I might sneeze thinking about pollen. It's all, anyway. So, if your allergies, pollen enters into your system and your body goes, we're being invaded, attack. And then you have a strong immune response. You have a super strong immune response to this. And so those are the different cells involved with your innate rapid response. So you got that going on. And we've got the dendritic cells, macrophages, natural killer cells, basophils. There's a whole lot of information there. And then the things that kind of overlap here, we've got T cells and natural killer cells that work with both. And so your B cells make antibodies, and your CD4 T cells and your CD8 T cells, they come from your original little T cells, and they work with those B cells, those antibodies, in order to neutralize viruses. So the goal essentially is to make antibodies that will connect with these T cells in order to take out these viruses. That's essentially what we're looking for. I feel like I've done weird stuff. I knew it. I've done weird stuff, haven't I? I've moved my thing around, and I didn't mean to do this. I'm messed up. It's all right. It's okay. I think I've moved things around. It's strange. I was playing around with my background, and I think I messed it up a little. It's all right. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Thanks yes, Tony Designs. So, guys, just remember, everything is toxic. Dosage is what matters. There's small, tiny amounts of bleach you can use to purify water to make it drinkable. Yes, Tony Designs. But people are they think more is better. Everything can kill you. Everything can kill you. Dosage, that's the key thing. Dosage, right? Dosage is the key thing here. Alrighty. Fear is used by the enemy. Well, yeah, that's true. We need to not be afraid. Education and understanding helps a lot with that fear. Yes, only the serious cases are tested. Hello, Brian Kowalski. I'm trying to say hi to everybody at least once, so that way I can make certain I have welcomed everyone to the show. All right. Golly, yeah, I just, man, my ear's already itching thinking about pollen. All righty. Maybe there is hope that everyone already been infected, presenting untested mild cases and more serious tested cases, and those who have got immunity, using a logical, educated guess. How many people? I feel pretty strongly that the number of people infected is way more than what's being reported. I mean, there are people that are asymptomatic or have mild symptoms who have tested positive. So it's probably closer to double the amount, I would think, of being infected. Yeah, it's pretty, oh gosh, I'm trying to catch up on it. Oh, it's okay. No problem, Tamara. Good to see you. All right, let's see. I'm trying to catch up, see if anybody's got questions. Yeah, you're basically bathing in bleach. Hello. Hey, Big Tank. Sounds, the way you explain immune system sounds like a war, a superhero movie. I like doing it that way. I honestly like explaining things that way because I feel like somebody's at least seen some kind of action film at some point in time, or a TV show. They can relate to that. I'm glad you like it. Oh, goodness. All right. So let's have a look. So let's talk about you being exposed. What goes on with your body when you're being exposed to a virus? Okay, let's have a look here. Let's have a look at this. So this is what's going on. So we've got, I feel like I need to fix this. This is bugging me. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's going to be okay. I'm just a weirdo. That's all. It's all right. So we're looking at this. We have our initial response, we have our protective immunity, and we have our memory cells. So what we're looking at here is a graph. And so what you see, these peaks, are the immune response, all right? So when you're first exposed to a virus, it just takes a long time because your body has to develop antibodies. It has to recognize it, and then it has to start developing antibodies. And so this is why if you get like the flu, you're like really, really sick for quite a few days. Sometimes you're out for a week, and it takes that long for your body to develop antibodies in order to fight off the virus. And so once you develop the antibodies, whoosh, you get this huge peak over here, this purple peak. That first peak with the first exposure, and then your body goes, okay, we can fight it now. And then you start to feel better as it starts to reduce the viral load. It's neutralizing the virus, keeps it from infecting cells. Then the other immune cells can go and just eat it up like Pac-Man back there, see? And just eat it up, and then it's gone. Now, you could have a reinfection of some kind, but look at that peak. That second peak is if you were reinfected with the virus. Here's the initial infection, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna die, right? And then the next time you get infected, it's not as bad, and it's a lot shorter. Quicker immune response. It doesn't take forever. It's just like, boom, bam, we got it. And then over the years, if you have another reinfection, look at that peak. A lot sharper, a lot faster, and your body responds a lot sooner. That's essentially what you're trying to accomplish with vaccines. You're trying to get to this third peak. You're trying to get there. So, people who are afraid, well, what if we're reinfected? Okay. Compared to your initial response, you might get a little sick, you might feel a little sick, but it won't be for very long. And then if, we develop a vaccine, this is the goal. Boom. Shorter period of time and get immunity a lot sooner. That's kind of what we're looking at. And then we're going to get here to how vaccines work exactly. Let's see. Catching up. If you're calling me right now, I'm not answering. Hold on. Let me call Brian. I don't have your number, Brian. I was just trying to be funny. I'm not calling him. Okay. Even if the Dunkelziffer of asymptomatic cases is much, much higher than we can reasonably hope. We still have the act with the proper care. Keep the measures going until we got vaccines and tests. Yes. Oh, goodness. So there we go. Yep. We're going to have to do like aggressive testing in order to really get more information. Whew. Alrighty. So back to it. This is how vaccines work, guys. It imitates the infection, and it doesn't cause that infection. So when you're vaccinated, you have and we'll talk about the different types of vaccines. And then we can hop into which version of vaccine are COVID-19 using. So what happens is you have T lymphocytes and antibodies that are produced from the introduction of our vaccine. Our vaccine kind of looks like snowflakes there. And then our little red symbol there that goes on top. That's how we do it. So eventually, the body stores those memory cells for future use. So if you were to get reinfected again, you would already have B cells and T cells coming at you fierce. And so again, just another graph, because sometimes we like graphs, right? So your primary immune response oh goodness. Sorry. Your primary immune response, it's slow to build up, and it's not very strong. The secondary response is stronger and more rapid than the primary response. All right. And so you have these memory cells that still just kind of hang around. But then if you get infected by the pathogen again, then you get this secondary response that's a lot stronger and more rapid than the primary response. So your antibody response comes in a lot stronger this second time around. Alrighty. So, let me catch up on the chat. I just wish there was a faster way to get a vaccine. Yeah, here's the thing. They have to make certain it's safe, first of all. Secondly, they have to make certain that it's efficiently causing an immune response. So is it effective? And if it's effective, how many times do you have to get vaccinated in order to get the desired immune response? Is it one shot? Is it like 3 shots with HPV? Will we need to get a vaccine every 6 months, to just ensure that we maintain immunity? So all of these different things play a role. Is there a place we can donate for better testing? That's a good question. I'm not entirely certain. I'm trying to get a new dishwasher, guys, and they're not letting somebody pick it up for me. So that's why I'm doing this. Gosh, COVID-19 ruining my life. I need somebody to bring me my dishwasher. So, completely unrelated. But that's what I'm doing. So, I feel like that's kind of rude. So, I'm sorry for that. Anyway, that's what's happening right now. So let's, that's a good idea. Is there a place we can donate for better testing? I'm not certain. And given that it's kind of scary that the government has been seizing a lot of equipment from different hospitals and they don't know where it's going, donating to these groups for better testing, would they come and take those tests? That's the other thing to consider. What if you get a hospital stuff or, whatever, and then they confiscate that and they take it for themselves. So there's a lot of scary stuff that's going on. Unless it's a private sector, but even in the government, if they declare a state of emergency, they can just take whatever they want. And it seems like they're reselling it. So I'm kind of upset about that. But hey, all right, let's see. In the mortality rate, I'm not certain what you mean, Golden Coin. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, you mean, okay, y'all are talking to each other on that. That wasn't a question for me. That's okay. I ignored the call, but didn't get a text, Ryan? Oh, goodness. How do you know the cure isn't found on Black Heart Island? I don't know. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let me see. All righty. Let's see. So let's have a look at the different types of vaccines. All right. So we've got live attenuated, we've got inactivated, we've got toxoid, we've got subunit, and we've got conjugate. I'm like, well, all of these sound terribly sciencey. Well, live attenuated, what that means, it's weakened versions of the virus. That's all it is. It's not enough to where it's still a live virus, but it's weakened to where it can't cause infection. Then we have inactivated. So it's a version of the virus where all of the stuff that makes you sick is taken from it. Toxoid, okay, that's a virus that prevents diseases associated with toxins and bacteria. For instance, a tetanus shot. So a tetanus shot, if you were to step on a rusty nail, the bacteria associated with that develops a toxin that makes you sick. Tetanus shots, that toxoid takes out that toxin to where you don't have that disease. A subunit, okay, that is a virus that only contains antigens, not the whole virus. So for instance, like pertussis. And a conjugate is that usually fights bacteria, and it usually has an outer sugar coating. So an example of that would be like HIV. It would be like influenza, that sort of thing. So I had mentioned before that many viruses require multiple doses. Or no, many vaccines require multiple doses in order to get effective immunity. Sometimes the first dose is not enough. And so you have to have multiple doses in order to have immunity. So we can kind of see that with an inactivated version. Toxoid, that immunity wears off. And that also can occur with subunits. So you would need multiple doses of the vaccine for that. More than one dose tends to give the best immune response. And also, for example, the flu virus, it evolves. So you have to get multiple viruses multiple vaccines in order to keep up with that mutating virus, mutating flu vaccine, mutating flu. Gosh. Thank you, Nether, for answering that. There are many research programs you can donate to, but don't expect it to help with this crisis in time. You need to vote for pro-science governments and more research funding years ahead. I agree with that. Hey, Kitty the Atheist, how are you doing? It's okay. You use caps. That means you're really excited to be here. That's how I read that. Yeah. Oh, you're sewing masks. That's wonderful. That's good to hear. All righty. Woohoo! Catching up. Man, Let's see. I'm catching up, trying to like, alrighty. Like conjugal visits. Oh my goodness, Brian. You're naughty. Tetanus shots hurt like the dickens. Boy, I bet they do. Oh man, I'm probably overdue for mine. Do not want. And that kind of brings us to vaccine side effects, right? They're very mild. Usually you get redness and itchiness and stuff like that. Life-threatening side effects are rare, and usually you have a family history of that associated with it. And if you have any comorbidities or anything like that, usually that can be picked up. And there's other options. There's multiple ways to administer a vaccine. If you have any immune diseases, if you have allergies, any history of harmful side effects, this is where you talk to your doctor. Your doctor's going to be your advocate. And if you don't like a particular doctor, go talk to another one. Or if you're really concerned, ask a pharmacist. Just talk to a pharmacist. They're going to know a lot about vaccines and drugs and all of that. Pharmacists, that's their jam. So if you have a lot of questions and you're not certain about the components involved in a particular drug or vaccine even, talk to a pharmacist. They're going to know. They're going to have a lot of information for you. All right, now we're going to get to, oh my God, herd immunity. We should just do herd immunity. Herd immunity, herd immunity, and that's what you keep hearing. But herd immunity, that's what you hear just all the freaking time. All right, so what is this? What are we talking about here? All right, so I nicked this from the World Health Organization. So, if we have unvaccinated or under-vaccinated populations, the disease spread quickly. Vaccines promote herd immunity. Now, here's the thing, okay? You may get exposed to COVID-19. If it's similar enough to all of the different strains, then you could possibly be exposed to a worse version and only have mild symptoms if you had a mild version earlier. We know this exists. Cowpox and smallpox. People who got cowpox did not get sick from smallpox, right? I mean, so we know that's a thing. That was early on with Louis Pasteur, So the idea, we could say herd immunity. We could do that. We could go through and we could have all the sick people get sick and die, and then the rest of us will be fine, okay? Well, that'd work in theory. Well, hypothetically, I'll just say hypothetically. And, according to what we see and how disease spreads, yeah, sure. But let me get my fancy calculator here. 300 million. 300 million times 0.05%. No, is it 5%? Is it 3 to 5%? How many people? What's the current U.S. population? I got this down last time. What's the current U.S. population? Anybody know right off? Let me look that up. Current U.S. population. 328 million. Okay. 328 million. Okay. 328 million. So let's say, okay, we're looking at what's the current, let me see what the current rate, where we're at with COVID-19. Worldometer. I'm going to pull that up. Let's have a look. Right now we're looking at, we've had out of 161, out of the 228,000 outcome that we've had, 228,041 out of that, we've had where we've known an outcome from that 66,000 people have died. So worst case scenario, 29%. Let's just do half. Let's say it's only 15%. That's still 49 million people, okay? Here's my math. 49 million people. 49,200,000 people. That's if it has a 15% fatality rate. 49,200,000 people. Okay? And even if it's just 5%, it's just 5%, that's still 15. Well, hold on. That's not 15. That was based on a different number. 328 times 0.05. That's 16,400,000 people if it's just a 5% death rate. Okay? 16 million people. 16,400,000 people. Are you willing to, do that? Do you want to be responsible for that? Because one person conceivably can infect at least, 10, and then those 10 can infect 100, and then those, you just keep going up on powers of 10. It's a logarithmic thing. It's an exponential growth. So yeah, we could, but also, how quick? Okay, so if we just all did that and we didn't socially distance across the U.S., 16,400,000, or worse, not even worst case scenario, 32,800,000. So not even worst case scenario. This happens in the course of a couple of months. My question for you, what are we going to do about the healthcare system at that point? All right, they're going to all be full with people. I mean, if that's all the people that get infected, that's the death rate. That's just the death rate, the mortality rate. That's not how many people survived. That's how many people it will kill, which means they will more than likely be in a hospital trying to survive on ventilators. That's just the death rate, okay? So we have this. We're going to overload the healthcare system. What about the people who get in car accidents, or the people who have heart attacks or have strokes, or things that they are very easily treatable? They're very easily treated, but they don't have access to it because COVID-19. This isn't just about let's get everybody immune. We could do that. But that's if none of these people ever go to the hospital either, which is extremely unrealistic. We're just going to leave them in their house to die? I mean, is that what you're expecting to do? That's just the people who die. That's not even the people who are infected and survive on ventilators, okay? That's not the people who just survived on ventilators. You see what I mean? And so all these resources are going to be put towards saving people's lives. But what about the people who get injured on their job or hurt in their house, or people who need ICU because are burn victims? I mean, what are we going to do with them? Let them die too? So this is a false number, isn't it? Even though that's COVID-19 related deaths, it's going to be much more than that because our healthcare system will be overwhelmed, won't it? So that's why that whole argument, herd immunity, is not going to work. The U.S. population is too large. If we were a tiny country with a national healthcare system, okay, small population, go fast, all right, that's different. We can't compare ourselves to Sweden. We can't compare ourselves to Iceland. We can't compare ourselves to other smaller countries. We have to be proactive in limiting transmission. That's the only thing you can do. And it's within our power as people to do that. So this whole thing, well, we just got to open up and we're just going to have, okay, fine. But that's going to cause a ripple across the entire system, not just exclusive to COVID-19. Not just exclusive to that. But people aren't thinking that way. And so that's become a real problem now. I mean, that's essentially a real issue. So, if we're going to talk about herd immunity, sure. So let's look at vaccines. So we have percent vaccinated. If nobody's vaccinated, okay, that's 0. Think and keeping it flatter. Just subscribe. Flatland and keeping it flatter. Just subscribe. Cool. All right. So this is percent vaccinated. 25% people get vaccinated. It's still spread. 50%, 75%, 90%. The vaccine is going to be helpful in handling this better than anything else. And that's where the hope needs to lie. But in the meantime, wash your hands. Do what you got to do. Limit transmission. Look, guys, I got my face mask. This really ain't going to do much. It's like freaking stretchy nylon stuff. But if I were sick, your face masks aren't meant to protect you. They're meant to protect other people. That's what people don't get. It's not about you. It's not about you. Doctor Strange, that was the thing he had to learn. This is where I bring up superheroes again. Doctor Strange, he had to learn a very hard and basic lesson. It's not about you. Even though he's a doctor, I became a doctor to save lives and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And then they had to go, hey, it's not about you. You hadn't learned. It's not about you. You can do so much more to help others when you understand it's not about you. And these people are like protesting and stuff. All you're doing is making everything worse. Oh, gosh. Catching up. Bye, Gray Man. Have a good day. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your child had a response like that, Kitty. I'm very, very sorry for that. I'm catching up, seeing if there's any questions. Yeah, we could do that if we were really evil. You're right. Who said that, Maya? You're right. We could just be like that and let everybody, hey, you catch it, you die. Oh well. It's the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. Some say, what? Some say eat or be eaten. Some say live and let live. But all are agreed as we join the stampede. Sorry. You should never take more than you give. I feel like people are all about, freaking Lion King now. It's the circle of life, guys. Circle of life. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Triaging needs to be in place. You're right, H. Hemphill. That would be helpful. Oh goodness. Hello, Gold Cat. How are you? Flatland, keeping it flatter, subscribed. I have heard that people are getting reinfected with COVID-19. We're not certain if that's what it is or if they just falsely tested negative, but we have antibody tests now. So hopefully that's not a thing. You can get reinfected with different things, but you still have developed some kind of immunity. So you might still have symptoms, but that's where we need to find out, if we get, is it multiple exposure to it in order for us to develop a stronger immune response or what? That can happen sometimes. All right, so let's see. I'm just catching up. We will know in 2 weeks if there is another spike in these places they are protesting. Oh, there will be a spike. Trust me. There have already been people who have tested positive for COVID-19 who have been leaders of different protests. And so if they're out screaming at everybody, that's a lot of droplets exposure and stuff. So yeah, that's how it is, man. Alrighty. So that's kind of the issues with the herd immunity that I wanted to talk about. But there's other things we can talk about. And I have a game. We still have our game to play. And if you played last week, I went through and updated your points. And I have winners to announce for the t-shirt, right? We have winners to announce for our t-shirt. Top 3 on Streamlabs get a t-shirt. It's limited edition. McBoomer's Rejects. That's me and the Geek Room. We designed this along with Peter, a.k.a. Gonna Go For It. Limited edition t-shirt, not available for purchase, but I do give out prizes for having Streamlabs points. So at the end of this episode, I'll go through, see where we're at, and announce the winners. Woohoo! We're going to play a game. So let's talk about, really quickly, COVID-19 vaccines. There are vaccines that are coming up. Alrighty. So Dr. Fauci. Here's Dr. Fauci. I love him. He's great. Okay, Dr. Fauci says it's doable to have millions of doses of COVID-19 vaccine by January, which it's doable. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. He's the director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. You might remember him from such hits as White House briefings, where he wasn't there. Dr. Birx was last time with the bleach drinking injection. No, he just said to inject it. That's right. He didn't say to drink it. Although the bleach drinking cult did contact him earlier that week, and he thought it was a great idea to talk about it on TV. There's a chance that hundreds of millions of a potential COVID-19 vaccine could be available by early next year. And so the thing we need to note here, there are current studies going on. It's mostly making certain it's safe, making certain it does what it's supposed to do, and that there's a strong enough response. That's mostly what we're dealing with here. But this is NPR. This is an article from NPR. This came out a few days ago. Dr. Fauci, he's great. So it's doable, but that's not a guarantee. Okay. That's the best possible scenario. That's what we mean by doable. Best possible case. January. But hey. All right. Here's another article we can check out. COVID-19 vaccine protects monkeys from new coronavirus. So here, this came out on April 23rd. And this is from sciencemag.org. So these vaccines that are in development, there's multiple studies going on, guys. It's not just one group that's doing things. People all over the world are working on a vaccine. And so Sinovac Biotech, it's a private company. They gave 2 different doses of their COVID-19 vaccine to 8 rhesus macaques. 3 weeks later, the group introduced SARS-CoV-2, that's COVID-19, virus that causes COVID-19 into the monkey's lungs, and none developed a full-blown infection. They got antibodies. That is number one, what we got to do. Does it make antibodies? Okay, good. Then, got to move on. The monkeys given the highest dose of vaccine had the best response. 7 days after the animals received the virus, researchers could not detect it in the pharynx lungs of any of them. So, good news, everyone. That's the first step right there. There's also genetic engineering. It's the potential of genetic engineering in developing a vaccine, all right? In brief, to quickly create, and this comes from Scientific American, to quickly create potential vaccines against COVID-19. Let me blow this up. There we go. Researchers are using genetic engineering rather than traditional methods, which can take years. That's true. So 3 different techniques based on DNA and RNA molecules are speeding to human trials, but whether they will work or can be scaled up to millions of doses is unclear. So let's say, what are they doing? What are they doing? I'm trying to find. The labs predicted that a commercial vaccine early 2021. Well, that's a big if, yeah. Okay. Instead, here we go. Here's what I want. Instead, labs are turning to gene-based vaccines. Scientists use information from the genome of the virus to create a blueprint of select antigens. Okay, so they're trying to make actual antigens. So the blueprint is made of DNA or RNA molecules that hold genetic instructions. The researchers then inject the DNA or RNA into human cells. This is cool. What they're trying to do is get your body's cells to make the antigens. Kind of what viruses do, except without causing you to be sick. So they'll use your body's ability to make proteins, because that's all antigens are. And so your little ribosomes, they'll read the RNA and then they'll make the protein. So they're trying to get a person's cells to actually make the antigens so antibodies can form. So it's like being exposed to the virus, but your cells are making those antigens and they're just, here they are. And then, it's just, those antigens are just on the outside of the virus, right? They're the little antenna that stick out. So it doesn't have all the other stuff that causes you to be sick or hijack your cells. So what they're trying to do is say, okay, let's see if we can get the human body to just make those receptors. Because if they can do that, B cells will go, oh my gosh, this is a thing. Then they'll make antibodies to attach, and neutralize those antigens. That could be a thing, guys. That's pretty exciting. So that's one thing that they're doing. Oh, they have pictures. We like pictures. All right. Here, let's take a look at this. Hold on. I thought this was going to blow it up. Okay. All right. So this is how they make. Okay. So this is just another way that they make viruses. They have to test in animals and people. First, they test in lab cultures and animals. Is it toxic? No. Okay. Does it make enough antibodies? Yes. Okay. Phase 1, is the vaccine safe or bad side effects avoided? Does the immune system produce antibodies? Yes. Okay. Phase 2. So is the vaccine safe? Is the immune response strong? Is the dosage correct? Yes. Okay. Phase 3. Does it safely prevent infection and disease across a large number of people? Yes. Okay, now we can make it. So there's multiple steps involved. If at any time that the vaccine's not safe or it causes problematic side effects, they stop testing and they start over. So it's important to kind of note that. So this comes from Scientific American. So you can check that out. The title of that article is going up here. Genetic engineering could make a COVID-19 vaccine in months rather than years. So you can check that out. The success of a COVID-19 vaccine will hinge on its delivery. I'm not certain what Stat News is, so I'm not going to do too much of that. I do want to point out a guy that's become a friend of mine. He does really good work. He's a biology professor. His name is he's almost doctor. His name is Reginald Finley. He has a whole website on just corona myths and mistruths, and he updates this all the time. Updated 2 days ago. And so he adds what the current conspiracies are in the myths and the mistruths, the things that aren't real. Inhaling hot vapors will kill the virus. No. The virus is a weak virus. No. Gargling antiseptic, that doesn't do anything. Black people and Black Africans cannot contract the virus. False. So he's going through and mining and finding all of the different things. Teenagers don't die from the virus. False. Children and babies have stronger immune systems. Don't get it. False. And then he's got links. He's done a lot of work here. Even going into the chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine can kill or halt the virus. Unproven, unknown. And he updates this all the time with all of the new information. Pets can give you the virus, possibly. Starts in the throat, not quite. And so do check out his stuff. He is Amazing Life Bio. Amazing Life Bio. I was collaborating with him, and then I got really busy on a biology book for homeschooled children. Might still work on that. I need to message him and apologize for not being as active on that as I need to be. But my real world job, I work about 12 hours a day right now. And I'm thankful to be working, and I'm thankful I have a job. But academia is on fire right now, guys. And I'm having to develop a course for online. And I'll have about 2 weeks to do an entire semester's course of chemistry in about 2 weeks. But, you know, I'm able to use a lot of the stuff that I've made in the past and other things, so I can kind of bring that in. And yes, it's a paid gig, which is awesome, but still, it's very challenging. It's a challenging time right now. Okay, what do you say we play a game? Would you like to play a game? I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Oh, goodness. Free gifts. Yes. Also, if you don't win a t-shirt, I still have a swag bag where I pull stuff out of my background and put things together. And how do you get points? By watching my live streams, by playing the games. And I give points to everybody who plays along. In the side chat, I give you points. You miss all the good stuff. Oh, it's okay, man. You have an opportunity to get points. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm catching up on the chat, and then we'll get started. Oh, I know. People think they're bulletproof, and then they get the virus, and then they learn very quickly they're not. Yes, thus the taking off the parachute halfway down because you're slowed down meme. Yes, exactly, Tony Designs. Alrighty. So I updated all of everybody's points this morning. Yep, I'm catching up. Okay, cool beans. All right, let us go to our new game. All right, so let's check this out. Let's play or launch our game here. Woohoo! I'm excited. So this is like Wheel of Fortune, and you guys can play along in the chat. We've only got 5 rounds now instead of 10. All right, Scientist Mel Science Trivia. And so the idea, we all work together as a team. If you're participating, I shall write your name down. I did last time on the back of a receipt, and I went through little pink check marks mean I dealt out points. We got 12,900 points last time. All right, so I got my piece of paper. And if you want to play, you will get some points. And all we're going to do, it's like Wheel of Fortune, essentially. It's Wheel of Fortune, round 1. Here we go. Vaccination effects. Vaccination effects. And how do you play? You put in your answer in the side chat. You put in your answer in the side chat. All right. It was whatever letter we want. So we're all team 1. We're all together. We're going to play this together. Team 1. Yeah. Let's spin. How many points are you going to get? It's like dollars. 400. All right, guess a letter, guys. Y'all just start guessing letters. Remember, we got to buy a vowel. Let's see. We got Dinah Cat Loves Me says H. All right, Dinah Cat Loves Me says H. We'll go with H first. There is an H. Woohoo. All right. Do y'all want to spin again? Or do you want, y'all gonna have to, you want a T. You know the words. See, we need some money though. Don't y'all want some points? Let's test your hypothesis. Somebody said TMS. Okay. Guess a letter. T was the next one I saw. So we'll do that one. There is a T. And after T, we're going to spin again. We'll spin again. You remember the last time we played this, we were on the first one forever. It was too hard. Guess letter M. M was the next one. So we started out with Tony said, wait, who said H first? Who said H first? I don't remember. Dinah Cat Loves Me said H. And then Wayne said T. Now Nether says M. Okay. There are 2 M's. Alrighty. Do you guys want to solve it now, or do you want to keep going? Somebody said R. Okay. I said R. We'll spin one more time. Mr. Shadow Kitty said R. I'm trying to get y'all points because I want you to win stuff. 400. R. Like a pirate. Okay. I would have done the M when it was a higher dollar amount. That's a good strategy, Kitty. It really is. That's a good strategy. Do we want to keep going, or do we want to solve it? What do you guys think? I think we've solved it. It's not that hard. You're right. That one's not that hard. Okay, we'll solve it. Herd immunity. Correct. Good job. Next round. Antibodies. I don't remember what this one is. I just made these. Look like the chat lag is long. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry, Brian. Okay. We're going to do our next one. We're still team 1. Let's spin. Antibodies. 700. What letters we got? What letters do you want to do? What letters you guys want to do? What do you think? Hello, gonna go for it, Peter. We got M first and then S. So we'll try M. No M. Boo. Still team 1. We're still on the same team. Let's try S this time. So Kitty said M. That's all right. Wayne says S. 100. 100. Okay. There is one S. High five. All right. One S. I don't remember what this is, and I wrote this morning. Okay. Dynacat loves me says T. Peter says, I have an antibody. Sorry. Dynacat loves me says T. There are 3 T's. I remember it now. Okay. CH2517 Jones says E. Do we want to buy a vowel? We can buy a vowel. What do you think? Let's buy a vowel. E. There is one E. There we go. Okay. Jericho D says T, and so does Mr. Shadow Kitty. We got those. Awesome. Good job, guys. Brian Kowalski says B. And then Nether says H after that. We say B. B is for boo. We don't like that. I'm sorry. Team 1050. We're going to spin. Next is H from Nether. Guess a letter. H. No H. Boo. That's not cool. We don't like that. Let's see. Wayne and Jericho say K. So let's see. K. There is one K. High five. Good job. Nether thinks he has the answer. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Kitty. That would be lovely. I appreciate that. But if somebody else needs it more than me, please send it to them first, okay, with the masks. But I appreciate that. But seriously, if somebody else needs it more than me, because I don't leave my house hardly at all. But yes, that would be very sweet. Thank you. But give it to somebody else first. All right, we got a couple people who want to try that. So Mr. Shadow Kitty says P. We'll try P. And then what we got next is C from Kitty and Jericho. We'll try that one. And Hempel says C. So we'll try P first. That's not nice. I don't like that buzzer sound. It just irritates me. So we'll try C. Ah! Ugh. I'm so mad. Now we got to get more money again. Okay. Give me a C. Sweet. There is one C. Good job, guys. Okay. I know. That makes me mad too. I don't like going bankrupt. But if we go like 3 or 4 more times, we'll be like, we lost a turn. Then we would be like Donald Trump, right? And that means we'll all be like closer to being president, right? Let's try. Okay. Any other letters? Anybody want to guess a letter? Everybody's saying attack antigens. So let's try N. There are 2 N's. Let's at least get the last consonant, okay? Good job, guys. Tony and Wayne got the N down. Awesome. And since everybody's saying attack antigens, let's test that hypothesis. Is there a G? There is 1 G. I thought it was pathogens. Ah, could be. I was close. Attack kittens. Let's solve the puzzle. Attack antigens is correct. Good job, guys. Sweet. We only got 3 more words left, guys. All right, next round. Vaccines. Category vaccines. Ooh, this is a big one. All right. Team 1 is up. That's us. We're team 1. We are always team number 1, guys. We are always team number 1. All right. What you think? What letter y'all want to go with? It's only 100. S. Okay. Wayne says S. There is an S. All right, there's 1 S. I don't remember what this one is either, so it's like brand new. I think I have goldfish memory with some of these. It's like my brain doesn't store things like this, but it's stored. I can tell you all day how receptor and ligand chemistry is. Nether says H. All right, let's give that a go. H. Ugh, no H. I missed the clue. The clue is vaccines. All right. If we do I, that's a vowel. We don't have enough for a vowel yet. Mr. Shadow Kitty says N. Let's try N. Too much lag on TV. Need to watch on phone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Brian. There is 1 N. And Hemp Hill says T. So let's try T. I know what this is. I know what this is. If you paid attention to the show today. Let's see, T. All right. If you paid attention to the show today, you might remember. You might remember this. Mythbusters busted the goldfish. Yes, they could. They could train the goldfish to go through a thing. Yeah, so what I said wasn't actually correct science. You're right there. Call me out, Kitty. It's all right. They did bust that. All right, Jericho says C. There is 1 C. Good job. This is 2 different words. 2 different words. Drawing a blank here. That's all right. Oh, you're not hurting my feelings, Kitty. I like it when people are like, oh, Mythbusters said. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. They did. I have no problem people correcting me. You weren't calling me out. It was a joke. I thought it was, you know, it was supposed to be funny. It's okay. All right. Anybody got a letter? You want to give that a go? Do we want to try? We can, Dinah, we can We can buy a vowel now. Well, we got to pick a letter first, then we can buy a vowel. What do you guys want to do? Okay, give me a letter. Give me a letter. So, because we already... D. There is one D. All right. All right. Let's buy a vowel. Dinah said an I before. There are 3 I's. Boom. All right. So we got D. Now let's see, Wayne said an R. We'll go with R next. There is 1 R. All right. Somebody's saying L. So we'll try L. Guess the letter. L was next. Ah, crap. Kitty says V, so we'll try V next and see if that works. Joan says V. All right, got it. Got it. Oh no! Gosh. We're almost Donald Trump, guys. But we didn't lose all of our previous points. Don't be scared. All right, we're gonna try V again. All right, 700. Freaking bankrupt. And Nether says inactivated virus. What do you guys think? Y'all want to solve? Y'all want to solve? All right. I didn't say nothing. Alrighty, let's solve. Inactivated virus. That's correct. Good job. High five. That's why you solve early, Mel. Yes. We only have a couple rounds left. Not a virus cure. Not a virus cure. There you go. Not a virus cure. It is our turn. Ah, thank you for the Sheba dog clapping its hands. Thank you, Jericho D, for the 5. For the 5. What's up? That's a little long for bleach. Bleach injections. Disinfectant. What letter do you guys want to go with? Injecting disinfectant. Thank you so much, Jericho D. I need to adjust everything. I think I've messed up my background. I did. I shifted everything and it's weird. All right. Let's see. Letter D. We're going with D first. Okay. Ah, nope. It's not a D. That's all right. We're going to spin again. T is next. T is next. That's from Wayne. So Brian had D. Kitty had D. Wayne has T. Okay, we have 2 T's. Let's see. Nether says R. Let's give that a go. Let's see, R. No R. Boo. It's our turn. We're still going to go. We don't need a team, too. It's just us. We are all in this together. Jilly juice. So far, Nether and Kitty so far say antibiotics. Let's see. Dinah Cat says letter B. Let's give that a go. There is 1 B. Brian Kowalski says C. Let's give this a go. Let's see what happens. See if y'all are right. Brian Stevens says activation. C. 1 C. Hemp Hill. We already got the B down. Hemp Hill says C2. Jericho D says P. Let's see. Is there a P? Is there a P? I am my own Vanna. And is it Sajak? What's his first name? Dick Sajak. Is that right? I don't remember. All right. S. Wayne says S. No whammies. No, that's the wrong game show. Might as well be a whammy if it's a back. Let's see. S. There is one S. Good job, Wayne. Ignore my P. Boo! I messed up and saw it. I'm like behind. That's all right. Let's see. So Brian and Brian Kowalski and Mr. Shadow Kitty say N. In. Let's see. There is one in. Alrighty. Pat Sajak. See, I don't know enough. Kitty wins again. She reads your mind. Alright. You guys want to solve it, or do you want to see? What do you think? It's never what word comes to mind. Do y'all want to solve it? Because some of y'all, you think it's antibiotics. What's the general consensus? Do we want to solve it, or do we want to solve? Okay. All right. Solve. It is antibiotics. Good job, guys. Good job. Antibiotics. Sweet. You guys are doing great. I think this is the last one. This is the last one. Virus preventative. Virus preventative. House for the win. Virus preventative. I need to go through and write down everybody's names once we get to points. So when we're finished, everybody who's still here, say hi at the end. At the end, so I can write your names down and I'll hand out the points. Put them in and see who's our winner. All right, guess a letter. Guess a letter. What do y'all think? D. Dinah says D. There is one D. This one might be harder, though. This one might be harder. We'll see. Yep, here's Smear Peanut Butter Doggy. Yep, this is Nina the science dog. She got a little cataract in her eye, but we'll get that fixed. All right. We've got S. S is next from Wayne. There are 3 S's. Good job, Wayne. Awesome. And Joan says W. And Mr. Shadow Kitty says W. W. All right. There is one W. Good job, guys. All right. Keep my pins away. Good job, Brian. W. Dinah is saying H next. Alrighty. There are 2 H's. 2 H's. Brian says M and Mr. Shadow Kitty says Y. So we'll see. Okay. So we'll do M first. Ick. No M, I recall that. It's okay. Fair enough, Brian. Mr. Shadow Kitty says, why? Because we like you. Yeah. M-O-U-S-E. That was entirely random, and I'm not sorry. 2 Y's. Good job. All right. Let's see. Wayne says R. Sure. Wayne says R. Let's give that a go. There is 1 R. Wash your hands. People think it's wash your something hands. Okay. Kitty says it's wash your nasty hands. I guess we could try an N and see if that works, Kitty. There are 2 N's. Yes, Joan, try then. So Kitty says a T, wash your musty hands. Jericho, that's funny. Let's put a T in here. All right, T. There is 1 T. Hello, Gian. Is it Gian from on Periscope? Dusty Solve. Everybody's for salt. Kitty got that one. Yes, she did. Wash your nasty hands, guys. Yay! Let's go to final scores. 10,200 points, guys. Let me get who all is in the chat. Brian Kowalski. We got Tony Designs. I want to put these points in. Brian Stevens. Yay. CH2517 Joan. Let's see. Everybody say hi who's still here. Kitty the Atheist. And I'm going to put points in, and we'll see where you guys are at. Dinah Cat Loves Me. Wayne Terry. Woo. Let me see. Jericho D. Yeah, we lost so much money last time at that, so on last week. But you guys do better. Let's see. Yeah, you got 12,900 with 10 last time. You can donate your points to the one with the least if you want. Peter, that's okay. H. Hemphill. Mr. Shadow Kitty. Okay. All right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let's see. Nether is here. Nether 6. All right. All righty. All righty. I think I got everybody down. So let me put in these points, and we'll see where we're at, and I'll announce winners for this particular one. So let me type in Brian Kowalski. Search, enter. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to refresh if it'll let me. All right, I'll get a refresh Streamlabs, put these points in really quick. If y'all just give me like a minute to do that, I can go down the list, add everybody's stuff. Brian Kowalski. Is there a space there? Is that where? Okay. Streamlabs is weird like that. Alrighty. And we are adding 10,200. So, Brian Kowalski, you've got 10,700 points now. Good job. Alright, let me put in my next person. Let's see. Tony Designs. Let's see how many points you got. Alrighty. So, I'm going to have to use a calculator on this. Thanks a lot, Tony. I'm just kidding. 25818 plus 10,200. 36,018 points for Tony Designs. Alright, so I got those two. Let's do Brian Stevens. Alright, Brian Stevens. We are almost done, guys, I promise. Brian Stevens. Alrighty, we're going to add points there. So that becomes a 6, and that becomes a 10. All right, Brian Stevens has 13,667 points. Let me get Joan. Is it CH2? CH2517. Joan, there you are. And we got, let's see, 10,450 points. Good job, Joan. Kitty, let's get her some points in here. I messed. See, I hit caps too, Kitty, and I messed up. It's fine. 10,600 points for Kitty the Atheist. What's up? Dinah Cat loves me. Up next. Alrighty. You're gonna make me have to use a calculator, Dinah. $78,980. Man. 78,980. Goodness. Dinah's balling. Dinah Cat. Wayne Terry. Let's put you in here. Let's see. There you are. All right, Wayne Terry. Let's get you going. 10,660. Good job. Don't worry. If you don't win something now, I reset the winners and I keep your points that you've already accumulated. I don't set everybody to 0 after prizes are given out, just the people who have won. So you can still build up points until you win a prize. And then, you know, when you win something, I reset you. That's how I kind of do that. I think that's fair. Alrighty, Jericho D, 25,550 points is where you're at. Good job. Alright, H. Hemphill. A lot of people playing today. That's so exciting. I'm so excited. I really like having people come in and hang out and play. It's great. Alright, so 25,687. Hemphill. Mr. Shadow Kitty. There you are. Got you 15,277 points. Vesta. Freya jumped in. Freya. I think they were spectating. I can't find you right off. I will add yours when I find you again. Nether. 6. Okay. I need to find Vesta's. It has to be exactly or it doesn't let me. Okay, so Nether's going to make me use my calculator. Nether is 158,294. Goodness. Alrighty. Okay then. Let's see who our top 3 winners are now. Let me refresh now. Goodness gracious, guys. That boomer shirt is hilarious. It is. And if you want that as a prize down the road, I am also putting together a swag bag where I pull things out of my background. I send you a mug. I send you a t-shirt. I send you a special thing out of my background that I've got up there. Somebody got a Black Widow figure. It was exiled. She got a Black Widow figure, t-shirt of her choice, a mug, and a print. It was like a little poster print of original artwork. So I do swag bags as well. And so it's either like a limited edition t-shirt that nobody can buy. You can get that because this isn't even on my website. You cannot buy this t-shirt anywhere. Same with the Geek Room. They only give this out. So our top 3 winners of the t-shirt: Nether, Dinah Cat Loves Me, and Tony Designs. McBoomer's Rejects. So our top 3 winners. So guys, you can contact me on, if you're not on Twitter, and you know, if you're, I have a Discord. You can message me on my Discord. If you are on Discord, you can message me there and send me your information, and I can do that. Or you can contact me through my website. Contact me through my website and use like the email that's associated with your YouTube. So that way I can verify it to you. But yes, yay! So Tony Designs, Dinah Cat Loves Tony. Yeah, so okay. Tony Designs, Dinah Cat Loves Me, and Nether. Let me know how you would like your t-shirt. If you do not want your t-shirt, you can donate it to another person if you like. That's fine. But I'm glad you had fun, Kitty. So if you haven't won something, now Tony last time donated all his points to Exiled. So that's something he did in the past. And so that's how she won. But I reset everybody's points. After they win, I reset their points. But if you didn't win anything yet, I don't reset your points. I let you build it up until you win something. It's kind of like tickets. You can save your tickets. And then when you get at the end and you finally get enough, you know, you can give that a go. It's all right. There you go. All right, let me catch up on the chat. Black Widow is so great. She is. But yeah, I have different things in my background. So I'll pull something out of my background just for you, for a swag bag, a mug, a t-shirt of your choice. If it's the limited edition one, got to give up all your points for that. But that's okay. But it's all right. That's the only way you can get that. Or you can pick out any t-shirt that you want off the website, and a poster of your choice. And I'll throw that all together. All righty. So I'm glad you guys are here. Tony is a beast at winning points. But, you know, if you don't want your t-shirt and you want to donate your points to somebody else, let them have your t-shirt, that's fine too. You got one. Yeah, I sent one to Peter. It's only logical. Is that the store link for your website? Yes, ScientistMel.com /shop. You can go there. Here is a little commercial for my shop. If you want to look, you know, here you go. All right, so that's a little commercial. Thank you, Peter, for that. Now, if you want to contact me through there, you can click on the contact, scientistmel.com /contact. Send me an email if you're one of the winners. Use your email associated with your YouTube so I can verify it's you. Or you can contact me on my Discord, message me there. And if you're on Twitter, you can message me there. But yes, McBoomer's Rejects. Still always available to win just by watching points and just by getting points. So what I think I'm going to do moving forward is once you reach a certain amount of points, the person who has the most, you can cash it in and get prizes and stuff, like, you know, or save your points and build up, you know, you can win a swag bag. All right. Yes, you can contact me on my website. ScientistMel.com. There should be a contact button at the top. Let me just pull up my website and I'll show you. Alrighty, ScientistMel.com. I'll pull this up. All right, so here you go. My shop is here, and you can contact me here. So you click on contact, you go down here, you can put your name, email, message. Use your email associated with your YouTube account so I can verify it's you. So that way nobody will steal your shirt. I also have a shop. So let me, hold on. So you can go on my shop. I have lots of cool stuff there. There's little images of things at the bottom. If you like clothing, sciencey clothing. Some of these I've been having issues updating, but you can kind of check out. Toss a coin to your teacher, entomologist, science is my jam, all kinds of things. Do I have anything on the second page? I have to go through and look. So here's some women in STEM. That's one of my women in STEM shirts. Scientist. Here you go. Vaccines. Finish them. So with this ever loads on my freaking computer, but it's not loading. Boo. There it is. But yeah, here you go. Vaccines. Finish them. Set up like a little fighting game in different colors. So you can get different colors for that. I have that shirt. It's pretty funny. Alrighty. But yeah, so check it out. You know, if you're up for a swag bag and you win enough, you get enough points. I think I'll probably do the swag bag after every couple months. After every couple of months, or I could do like at the end of every month and give out points. I'll put out a feeler and see what you guys think about that. If it's every month, you get to pick out a thing from a shop and I send it to you. Get to pick out a thing. That might be cool. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of a swag bag because you get lots of stuff with that one. But it'd be like every 2 to 3 months or something. But y'all let me know what you think. If you want to contact me, you can do that there. I also put all my sources on here and resources for teachers, all my slides for my shows. I also put some of my quizzes on here. So if you like the quizzes that you played, you can play some more here if you want. That's always fun. So yeah, that's what I got, guys. I think. Oh, I didn't show you my sources. I didn't show you my sources yet for vaccines. I probably should do that. Slideshow from current slide. All right. Let me switch my display settings because it's backwards. Alrighty. So really quickly, if you like this, check out my sources, cdc.gov, historyofvaccines.org on eradication of various diseases, the World Health Organization, fantastic. Also, vaccines don't cause autism. Y'all stop that, anti-vaxxers. They don't cause autism. We're not doing that anymore. Y'all need to stop that. And so you can find me all over the internet, scientistmel.com, youtube.com/scientistmel, like, share, and subscribe. I do have a Patreon, but please don't give me money if you need it right now. And I'm not getting my feelings hurt if people need to. I've had people had to stop being patrons because we're in a pandemic. I get that. Okay, take care of you and yours first. That's more important. But there you go. Alrighty. I just listened. Had to cook. No worries. You get points for participating and being active in the chat. Yes. I also will start membership soon on my channel. I've been approved for membership. So if you don't want to do Patreon, but you want to do like YouTube membership, I'll start doing that soon. What's up, Nina? Nina's upset. She needs some love. Can you say hi to everyone, Nina? Say hello. I am Nina the Science Dog. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Science of. It's been a lot of fun. I had a good nap. Yes, shipping and handling. What about shipping and handling? I missed that question. Shipping and handling green stamps. I don't know what that means. Okay. Alrighty. I'm catching up. I can contact. Okay, yes. We covered that. We covered that. We covered that. Can you explain the point system to Joan? Okay, yes. You get points when you super chat. You get points for watching the show while it's live. You get points for being active in the chat. You get points for playing the game. Really just watching during a live stream, talking to people, interacting, asking me questions. And you also get points when you play. And there's also little games that you can play. Tony's really good at that. He can kind of coach you. Reach out to Tony too. It's a great t-shirt. You do deserve a t-shirt, Tony. You do help me out a lot with that. Oh, goodness. All right. See you later, Brian. See you later, guys. Thank you for being here. Oh, my goodness. I know. I get you, Kitty, on that with the, it's autism. It's not a disease. It's just, they're just wired differently. Nina is wanting head scritches. Oh, goodness. Well, it was good to have you guys. Hey, being mindful. It was good to see you here, and I'm glad you're here with me. I guess I'll end with Mr. Rogers, and then we'll sign off. I'm quite a dangerous garbage person. Don't need designs. I don't know about that. You haven't been with me. Okay, here you go. Let's see. How about this? Let's see. This is from We Are All Neighbors. Do you want to get down? Nina had it with me. She's done. All right, let me see. I need a small quote. All right. We are all neighbors. This is from The World According to Mr. Rogers. When you combine your own intuition with a sensitivity to other people's feelings and moods, you may be close to the origins of valuable human attributes such as generosity, altruism, compassion, sympathy, and empathy. So one more time. When you combine your own intuition with a sensitivity to other people's feelings and moods, you may be close to the origins of valuable human attributes, such as generosity, altruism, compassion, sympathy, and empathy. Basically, be kind to each other, guys. We're in a pandemic. Default to kindness. So, it's a party now. Anywho, I'll just end with this. You always make each day special for me. You know how? By just your being you. I will see you guys next time, next Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central, and we'll be talking more science then. See you later. Have a great day, guys. Bye. And good to have you here. Bye. I'm catching up. Woohoo.